It is a privilege to welcome His Excellency Tobias Billström, Minister for Foreign Affairs, and our Ambassador Tanmay Lal. Please welcome on stage. We would like to begin the reception by playing the national anthems of both the countries. Indian national anthem, followed by Swedish national anthem. Please join us. Thank you. May I please request Ambassador to please give some remarks?
Honorable Minister, honorable members of Parliament present, Excellencies, distinguished guests and friends, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the Republic Day of India. The day when India, that is Bharat, a civilizational state, adopted its constitution in 1950. India has always been a microcosm of humanity's mega diversity, of ethnicities, languages, cultures, philosophical systems, and faiths, many of whom originated in ancient India. India's Republic Day celebrates the momentous decision made by this 1/6 of humanity to govern themselves in an inclusive, democratic framework based on equality for all. This decision carried forward their millennia-old tradition of respect for plurality and coexistence. It drew upon numerous examples of people's participation and representation in governance, dating back more than 2,000 years across the Indian subcontinent. Switching to 2024, the world will soon witness the largest democratic election process ever in human history as India goes in for its 18th national elections. Nearly 1 billion people, Indians, will be eligible to vote. Today, India has broken the shackles of an exploitative colonial past and a traumatic and bloody partition in 1947 that led to one of the world's largest ever forced migrations. In the last decade, Indian economy has grown from being the 10th largest to 5th largest in the world, despite global headwinds. A few months back, India landed on the moon, and a human space mission is now being prepared. A complete transformation is underway in India at scale and speed, led by technology, policy reform, and enterprise. A pioneering digital infrastructure built as public goods is exponentially scaling up development solutions, financial inclusion, innovation, and entrepreneurial energies. A very significant percentage of global growth and young talent pool is coming from India, and this is projected to increase further. In today's deeply interconnected reality and a world order in serious flux, most of our challenges are global or even planetary in nature: pandemic, security, climate change, or biodiversity. They all require cooperation. As the world's largest democracy, India is actively contributing to meeting these collective challenges. Ahead of COP28, India was rated among the top nations on climate action performance. During pandemic, India was a major contributor to global vaccine availability. India has emerged as a first responder in humanitarian and disaster and emergency situations in the Indian Ocean region. India is the largest troop contributor to UN peacekeeping, and this month marks the first anniversary of the deployment of our first all-women peacekeeping contingent after 2007. India is working with 80 partner countries on implementing 600 development projects. As the G20 president last year, India brought the serious challenges faced by the Global South firmly in focus. In an historic milestone, the Delhi G20 summit also welcomed African Union as a member. Excellencies, we have completed 75 years of India-Sweden diplomatic relations. Our business linkages are older. Ericsson came to India 120 years ago. Swedish East India Company ships sailed from Gothenburg 300 years ago. Going back even further, global trading routes have linked distant geographies. 2,000 years old coins, precious beads and gemstones, and a 1,400 years old Buddha statuette, all from India, have been discovered here in Viking settlements. Spices like cinnamon and cardamom, originating in India and that region, have long been Swedish favorites. There are even similarities in ancient Indian and Viking mythologies. One can visit a site in Uppsala where in 1830s, a young Swedish scholar had inscribed a Sanskrit verse from the ancient Indian epic Mahabharata on a rock for his fiancée. He later established Indology studies in Uppsala. A century ago, Uppsala welcomed Nobel laureate Tagore. Today, innovation and clean technology drive our partnership. Sweden's leadership in innovation, industrial transition, and sustainability complements the scale and speed of the unprecedented ongoing transformation in India. Swedish businesses continue to expand operations in India in manufacturing, co-development of clean technology, and R&D. Indian companies are investing in Sweden in engineering and digital sectors. Indian professionals are contributing to Swedish economic competitiveness. The trajectory of our partnership is climbing strongly. During the last 1 year, there have been more than 15 ministerial interactions. We had the privilege of welcoming Honorable Minister Billström in India for the Raisina Dialogue. Our Minister for External Affairs, Dr. Jaishankar, had an excellent visit to Sweden when he also addressed the EU Indo-Pacific Ministerial. Honorable Minister for Financial Markets was in India recently for the India-Nordic-Baltic Business Conclave, and State Secretary for Infrastructure was in India last week. The last December alone provides a glimpse of the scope and value of our engagement, from climate tech to space tech. In Dubai, during COP28, Prime Ministers Modi and Ulf Kristersson launched the second phase of LEAD IT, which is a joint India-Sweden Global Climate Action Initiative for industrial transition in steel and cement. Days later, we hosted the first ever Space and Geospatial Business Summit here in Stockholm. It was great to see young smart tech leaders coming together and discuss collaboration in these all-pervasive, fast-changing and expanding technology and data domains. The future is promising. Excellencies, may I once again thank the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs for his gracious presence here today on India's Republic Day. May I also invite Your Excellency to address us on this occasion, and thank you all for joining today. Thank you.
Dear Ambassador Lal, Excellencies, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be here with all today to celebrate the 75th Republic Day of India. And today is a celebration of the Indian Constitution, which paved the way for Indian democracy. And this year is expected to be the biggest election year in human history. Nearly half the world's population will be going to the polls in 2024, and more of them in India than in any other nation on earth. It is a day and age when authoritarianism is posing an increasing threat to global security, to our economies, and to our way of living. Only by joining forces and defending fundamental values and principles can democracies turn the tide. India and Sweden are indeed joining forces. And last year we marked the 75th anniversary of our diplomatic relations, and what an extraordinary jubilee year we had, just as you mentioned in your speech, Mr. Ambassador. Our bilateral trade reached record levels last year, with numbers estimated to have reached 60 billion Swedish crowns for goods and services combined. Indian companies in Sweden are expanding their businesses, and as are the more than 260 Swedish companies present in India. The political engagement has been unprecedented. Since taking office in 2022, 20% of the Swedish government has already visited India. I've checked the figures. And this, of course, includes my own visit to New Delhi last year, which I hope to repeat in the very near future. And internationally, through our parallel presidencies of both the EU and the G20 last year, India and Sweden took on important global responsibilities. For Sweden, the EU presidency was an opportunity to push for closer EU-India relations, including through the first EU-India Trade and Technology Council and the second EU Indo-Pacific Ministerial Forum. And we hope to see these relations strengthened further in 2024 and beyond, including through an EU-India Free Trade Agreement. Wrapping up 2023 on a high note, Prime Ministers Modi and Kristersson, as you mentioned, Ambassador, jointly launched the Sweden-India Industry Transition Partnership at the COP28 in Dubai. And our co-chairmanship of the Leadership Group for Industry Transition, the LED-IT, remains a pinnacle of our cooperation, and it also acts as a model for others. Ensuring the green transition of heavy industries is a critical future challenge for both our countries and indeed for the world as a whole. Looking ahead to the new year of 2024, geopolitically, the outlook is in many ways grim, and please forgive me for being gloomy on a festive occasion like this. It is almost 2 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion against Ukraine, and the people of Ukraine who fell victim of Russia's war crimes are first to suffer. But the consequences are also felt beyond Europe's borders with regard to global food and energy security, supply chains, and of course also macro financial stability. Our support to Ukraine is also about safeguarding international law, state sovereignty, and the framework for international cooperation. The war between Israel and Hamas that followed the horrific terrorist attacks on Israel and the humanitarian situation in Gaza remain extremely worrying. A regional escalation would risk even more devastating consequences. Merchant ships are attacked on the Red Sea, impacting and impeding global trade. And once again, innocent civilians are the first victims, and once again, the global order is threatened. Despite these dark and worrying developments, I remain an optimist. There are examples in the past where crises have opened up new possibilities, as we have seen not least in the Middle East. The 1979 peace agreement between Israel and Egypt followed upon the Yom Kippur War. The Middle East peace process in the 1990s followed upon the violence of the First Intifada. What is clear is that navigating in these times of upheaval, no country can go it alone. We need purposeful and long-term cooperation built on a rules-based world order and mutual respect. We need more of the sort of values that the Indian Constitution places at its core and that Sweden has always championed, such as justice, equality, and freedom. And this is exactly what I propose that we celebrate today: the friendship between our countries and peoples and a shared focus on the future, be it in the field of innovation and green technology, space cooperation and artificial intelligence, student exchanges or tourism. Sweden and India are coming together in the pursuit of common goals. So once again, warm congratulations to the Republic of India, and long live the Swedish-Indian friendship and close partnership. Thank you.
Arts and culture are an important aspect of people-to-people ties. We would now like to present a brief special performance to mark the Republic Day here in Sweden and also to celebrate 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Sweden. We would like to welcome Ms. Carlotta Hult, the renowned Swedish opera singer, and Mrs. Usha Balasundaram and her young Indian and Swedish students from Lilla Akademi and Saraswati Kala Kendra. This short performance will feature Indian dance form Bharatnatyam, presented by young artists, both on Indian classical music theme and then on a couple of favorite Swedish melodies. Hope you will like it, and please welcome the artists.
Kutaka di kutaka ta dingi na tom ta ka dim mi ta ka dim mi ta ka dim mi taka 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 dim mi te 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 tom. Dalang kutaka di kutaka ta dingi na tom tadi kuting kutaka tom ding kutak kudrugudak dalang kutaka taka ta ding kutaka te ding kutak kudrugudak dalang kutaka tadi kuting kuta ding kuta taka ta ding kute tadi kuding kutaka ta ding kuta detta kidaka derikidom ta.
Don't go, don't ever let me do the things you do. Don't go, don't ever let me think the things you do. Euphoria, forever till the end of time. From now go. Where they play the right music, everything's fine. You come to look for king. Anybody could be that guy. And the music's high. Where they play the rock music, everything is fine. You're in the mood for dance. And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Feel the clean, hear the heat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having good time on your own. Cool, see that gun, watch that scene, take it for dancing queen. You're a teaser, you turn them on. Leave them bleeding and then you're gone. Where they play the right music, everything's fine. You're in the mood for dance. And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the heat from the tambourine. You can dance, you can jive, having good time on your own. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, take it for dancing queen. Take it for dancing queen, the dancing queen.
Thank you, Ms. Charlotta Hult, Ms. Usha Balasundaram, and her young artists from Saraswati Kala Kendra Institute of Fine Arts and Lilla Academy. May I request Usha ji to join on stage, and may I please request His Excellency Minister and Ambassador to join on stage for the photo.